Have you ever felt like confidence is just out of reach? Like it's this elusive quality only a select few are born with? Well, I'm here to tell you that's a myth. Confidence is not some innate gift. It's a skill, one that anyone can learn. Today, I'm going to show you how. Let me share a quick story. A few years ago, I was stuck in a cycle of self-doubt. Every decision, every interaction was clouded by fear and uncertainty. I felt like an imposter in my own life. Then, I discovered Stoicism. It was like a light switch flipped. The more I dove into Stoic philosophy, the more I realized that confidence isn't about being perfect or always knowing what to do. It's about embracing imperfection, accepting uncertainty, and living authentically. So, if you're ready to transform your mindset and unlock a level of confidence you never thought possible, stick around. These aren't your typical self-help tips. They're bold, controversial, and they will challenge everything you think you know about confidence. But trust me, they work. 1. Learn to say no. Let's start with something that's sure to ruffle some feathers: learning to say no. Society has conditioned us to be people pleasers, to say yes to every request, every favor, every obligation. But here's the truth. Saying yes to everything is a surefire way to destroy your confidence and self-respect. Let me get personal for a moment. There was a time in my life when I was the yes man. I thought agreeing to everything would make me more likable, more successful, and, well, just more. But instead, I found myself exhausted, overwhelmed, and honestly, a little resentful. I was living my life on other people's terms, not my own. I remember one week where I had agreed to help a friend move, take on extra projects at work, and attend 3 different social events. By the end of it, I was drained, and I had no time for myself. My confidence was shot because I was constantly letting myself down to meet others' expectations. Here's the controversial truth. Saying no is one of the most powerful things you can do for your confidence. It's a declaration that your time, your energy, and your priorities matter. It's not about being selfish, it's about self-respect. When you say no, you're setting boundaries. You're telling the world, I value myself and my time. And guess what? People will respect that. They may not like it at first, but they'll respect you more for standing your ground. Now, let me be honest. Saying no can be terrifying. You might fear rejection, disappointment, or conflict. But here's the kicker. Every time you say yes when you mean no, you're rejecting yourself. You're telling yourself that your needs and desires are less important than others. That's a huge confidence killer. Think about it. How many times have you agreed to something you didn't want to do and ended up feeling frustrated or resentful? How often have you put others' needs before your own, only to feel your confidence chip away? Saying no isn't about being rude. It's about being honest and authentic. It's about taking control of your life and making choices that align with your values and goals. So the next time someone asks you for something, take a moment and ask yourself, is this something I truly want to do? Does this align with my priorities? If the answer is no, then be brave enough to say it. Your confidence will thank you. Let's move on to one of the toughest yet most liberating lessons in Stoicism: accepting your flaws. This isn't about settling for less or excusing poor behavior. It's about embracing your humanity and realizing that your imperfections are a part of who you are. For a long time, I struggled with the idea of perfection. I thought that to be confident, I needed to be flawless. But all that did was make me anxious and insecure. I was constantly afraid that people would see through the cracks and discover I wasn't as perfect as I tried to appear. I remember spending hours nitpicking every detail, whether it was my appearance, my work, or even my interactions with others. I was my own worst critic, and it was exhausting. Here's the raw, honest truth. perfection is an illusion. It doesn't exist. And the more you chase it, the more you set yourself up for disappointment. True confidence comes from embracing your flaws, not hiding them. When you accept your flaws, you free yourself from the impossible standards that society often imposes. You're saying, "I am enough, just as I am." And that's incredibly powerful. I used to be extremely self-conscious about my speaking skills. I would avoid public speaking at all costs, fearing I'd stumble over my words or forget what to say. But one day, I decided to face my fear head-on. I accepted that I might make mistakes. And guess what? I did. But I also found my voice. And each time I spoke, I grew more confident. Think about it. How many times have you let your flaws hold you back? How often have you avoided opportunities because you feared your imperfections would be exposed? The Stoics believed that flaws are not something to be ashamed of. They're part of the human experience. By accepting your flaws, you're embracing your true self, the good, the bad, and everything in between. So the next time you catch yourself dwelling on a flaw, take a moment to reflect. Ask yourself, is this flaw really as bad as I'm making it out to be? Can I learn from it? Can I grow because of it? Embrace your imperfections and watch your confidence flourish. Remember, confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about being authentic. It's about showing up as you are, flaws and all. Now, let's talk about something that might sound counterintuitive. Understanding the limits of your knowledge. This isn't just about admitting you don't know everything. It's about embracing curiosity and the endless journey of learning. And trust me, it's a game changer for your confidence. There was a time when I thought I had to have all the answers. Whether it was at work, in social situations, or even in personal conversations, I felt this immense pressure to always know what to say and do. It was exhausting and, frankly, unsustainable. I remember one particular incident during a team meeting where I was asked a technical question I didn't know the answer to. Instead of admitting my ignorance, I tried to bluff my way through it. It was a disaster. My lack of knowledge was exposed, and I felt humiliated. Here's the raw truth. Admitting you don't know something is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. It takes confidence to say, "I don't know, but I'm willing to find out." The Stoics taught that recognizing the limits of our knowledge opens the door to true wisdom. When you acknowledge what you don't know, you give yourself permission to learn and grow. You embrace the idea that knowledge is a journey, not a destination. And that's incredibly empowering. After that disastrous meeting, I made a conscious decision to embrace my ignorance. I started asking more questions, seeking out mentors, and admitting when I didn't know something. It was transformative. Not only did my knowledge grow, but my confidence skyrocketed because I was no longer pretending to be something I wasn't. Think about it. How many times have you stayed silent because you were afraid of looking stupid? How often have you pretended to know something only to feel more insecure when the truth came out? The Stoics believed that true wisdom comes from understanding our limitations. By admitting what we don't know, we open ourselves up to learning, growth, and the vast possibilities that come with a curious mind. This humility is the bedrock of genuine confidence. In a world that glorifies talking and being the loudest voice in the room, I'm here to tell you that true confidence often comes from the opposite. Let's explore why listening more can transform your life. I used to think that to be seen as confident and knowledgeable, I had to constantly share my opinions and experiences. I thought talking more would make me seem more important, but in reality, it did the opposite. I was missing out on valuable insights from others, and I often came across as self-centered. I remember one particular gathering where I was so eager to share my thoughts that I didn't realize I was monopolizing the conversation. Later, a friend gently pointed out that I hadn't given others a chance to speak. It was a wake-up call. Here's the raw truth. Speaking less and listening more doesn't mean you're less important or less knowledgeable. It means you value others' perspectives and recognize that everyone has something to teach you. The Stoics taught that wisdom comes from understanding, and understanding comes from listening. When you listen more, you learn more. You build deeper connections, gain insights you wouldn't have otherwise, and show respect to those around you. This, in turn, boosts your confidence because you're more informed, more empathetic, and more respected. After that gathering, I made a conscious effort to listen more. I started asking more questions, pausing before speaking, and truly engaging with what others were saying. The impact was immediate. Not only did my relationships improve, but I also felt more confident because I was learning so much more. Have you ever truly felt heard and valued when someone took the time to listen to you? Now, imagine giving that gift to others. It's incredibly powerful. The Stoics believed that true wisdom, and by extension, confidence, comes from understanding the world around us. By speaking less and listening more, we embrace the diversity of thoughts and experiences that others bring to the table. This humility and openness foster a deeper, more genuine sense of confidence. Think about it. How often have you had a conversation where you felt like the other person wasn't really listening? The experience of being truly heard can transform how you feel about yourself. So why not offer that same experience to others? When you listen more than you speak, you're not only showing respect, but you're also embracing the opportunity to learn from those around you. This simple practice can boost your confidence in ways you never imagined. The Stoics taught that wisdom comes from understanding, and understanding comes from listening. When you listen more, you learn more, build deeper connections, and gain insights you might have missed if you were too focused on speaking. This increased awareness makes you not only more knowledgeable, but also more empathetic and connected to those around you. The next time you find yourself in a conversation, take a step back. Listen more than you speak. Ask questions. Show genuine interest. You'll be amazed at how much you learn and how much more confident you become. There's a deeper message here. Speaking less and listening more isn't just about being polite. It's about valuing others and, in turn, valuing yourself. It's about recognizing that every person you meet has something to teach you. This humility, this openness to learning, will not only make you more knowledgeable, but also more empathetic, enriching your relationships and your sense of self-worth. In a world that constantly pushes us to think about the future or dwell on the past, being present is a radical act, and trust me, it's one of the most powerful ways to boost your confidence. Let me share a personal story. I used to be a chronic overthinker. I was always worried about what might happen next, how things could go wrong, or ruminating on past mistakes and missed opportunities. It was like I was everywhere except in the present moment, and it drained me. I remember one particular day when I was so caught up in thoughts about an upcoming project that I completely missed a beautiful sunset. My friend had to point it out to me. That moment was a wake-up call. I realized that by constantly living in my head, I was missing out on the life happening right in front of me. Here's the raw, honest truth. The present moment is all we really have. The past is gone, and the future is uncertain. By embracing the present, you're fully engaging with life as it is, not as you fear it might be or wish it had been. This is the essence of true confidence. When you embrace the present moment, you're not just living, you're thriving. You're more aware, more connected, and more in tune with yourself and your surroundings. This mindfulness translates into a deeper sense of peace and confidence. After that day with the sunset, I made a conscious effort to be more present. I started practicing mindfulness, simple things like focusing on my breath, paying attention to my surroundings, and really listening when others spoke. The change was profound. I felt more grounded, more alive, and my confidence grew because I was fully engaged with the world around me. Think about it. How often do you find yourself distracted, thinking about what's next, or dwelling on what's already happened? Imagine the freedom and confidence that comes from letting go of those thoughts and simply being fully present. The Stoics believed that life is lived in moments. By embracing the present, you're not just experiencing life more fully, you're also building a foundation of confidence rooted in reality, not in hypothetical scenarios. So, the next time you catch yourself drifting into the past or the future, take a deep breath. Bring yourself back to the present. Notice your surroundings. Feel your breath. Engage with the people around you. This simple practice can transform your life and your confidence. In a society that often celebrates independence and self-reliance, seeking wisdom from others may seem counterintuitive. But trust me, it's a game changer. Let me share a personal story. I used to believe that asking for advice or seeking wisdom from others was a sign of weakness. I thought I had to figure everything out on my own to prove my worth. But that mindset left me feeling isolated and overwhelmed. I remember one particular project at work where I was completely stuck. I spent days trying to solve a problem, refusing to ask for help because I didn't want to appear incompetent. Finally, in frustration, I reached out to a colleague who had more experience. Not only did he help me find a solution quickly, but he also shared valuable insights that I hadn't even considered. Here's the raw, honest truth. Seeking wisdom from others is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. It shows that you value knowledge and growth over ego. The Stoics taught that we should always be students of life, learning from everyone we meet. When you seek wisdom from others, you're expanding your horizons. You're learning from their experiences, mistakes, and successes. This not only makes you more knowledgeable, but also more humble and confident. You realize that you don't have to have all the answers, and that's incredibly liberating. After that project, I made it a point to seek out mentors and ask for advice regularly. I joined discussion groups, attended workshops, and read extensively. Each interaction, each piece of wisdom, added to my understanding and my confidence. I wasn't just learning facts, I was learning how to navigate life more effectively. Think about it. How often have you struggled with something alone, fearing judgment if you asked for help? Now imagine the strength and confidence that come from learning from others' experiences and perspectives. The Stoics believed that wisdom is a communal effort. By seeking wisdom from others, you're not just gaining knowledge, you're also building a network of support and mutual respect. This collective wisdom enriches your life and bolsters your confidence. The next time you face a challenge or seek to learn something new, don't hesitate to reach out. Ask questions, seek advice, be open to learning from everyone around you. This openness to wisdom will not only expand your knowledge, but also your confidence. In a world where rationality is often prized over emotions, developing emotional intelligence can set you apart and provide a powerful boost to your confidence. Emotional intelligence, EI, is not about being overly sensitive or suppressing your feelings. It's about understanding and managing both your emotions and the emotions of others. Let me share another personal story to help illustrate this point. I once believed that emotional intelligence was a sign of weakness. I tried to suppress my feelings, focusing only on logic and reason to solve problems. This approach, however, often led to misunderstandings and strained relationships. I remember a time at work when a colleague's criticism made me feel defensive and angry. Instead of addressing the feedback constructively, I impulsively reacted, damaging our professional relationship. That was a wake-up call. Here's the raw, honest truth. Emotional intelligence is not about being soft or overly emotional. It's about being aware of your emotions, understanding what triggers them, and managing them effectively. The Stoics believed that self-awareness and self-control were essential to living virtuously and confidently. When you develop emotional intelligence, you can handle life's challenges with greater resilience, empathy, and adaptability. You're no longer controlled by your emotions, but empowered to respond thoughtfully and wisely. After that incident, I decided to focus on improving my emotional intelligence. I began practicing mindfulness to become more aware of my emotional triggers. I also sought feedback from trusted colleagues, learning to accept constructive criticism without taking it personally. Over time, this not only improved my relationships, but also gave me a deep sense of confidence. Confidence that came from understanding myself better and mastering my emotional responses. Think about it. How often have you reacted impulsively to a situation, only to regret it later? Imagine the power and confidence that comes from pausing, reflecting, and responding with empathy, even in challenging situations. The Stoics teach us that mastering our inner selves is key to wisdom and virtue. By developing emotional intelligence, we align ourselves with this philosophy. It enables us to better understand others, connect with them authentically, and handle difficult emotions with grace. It's easy to forget the profound impact physical activity can have on our mental and emotional well-being, especially in a world that often prioritizes intellectual and emotional challenges. But physical exercise is an essential component of building true confidence. Let me share another personal experience that highlights this point. There was a period in my life when I felt mentally and physically drained. I was overwhelmed by work and stress, and my self-confidence was at an all-time low. I was neglecting my body, spending hours sitting and rarely moving. Then, during a particularly stressful week, a friend suggested I start exercising. I was skeptical at first. How could physical activity help with my mental struggles? The raw truth is this: exercise isn't just about building muscles or losing weight. It's about creating a holistic sense of well-being. The Stoics believed in the harmony of mind, body, and spirit. By taking care of your physical health, you lay the foundation for mental clarity and emotional stability. Exercise releases endorphins, the body's natural mood lifters, and reduces stress hormones like cortisol. As a result, you experience improved mood, better sleep, and increased energy levels, all of which contribute to heightened confidence. After that stressful week, I decided to give exercise a try. I started with a simple 30-minute jog every morning. At first, it was tough. My body was resistant, and my mind was full of excuses. But I pushed through, and gradually, I began to notice changes. I felt more energized, my mood improved, and I tackled my work with renewed focus. The physical activity didn't just transform my body, it transformed my mindset as well. Think about it. How often do you feel sluggish or overwhelmed? How often do you neglect your body in favor of other responsibilities? Imagine the confidence that comes from feeling physically strong, mentally sharp, and emotionally balanced. The Stoics believed that our bodies are temples deserving of care and respect. By engaging in physical exercise, you're not only improving your physical health, but also nurturing your mind and soul. If you want to incorporate exercise into your routine, start small. Find activities that you enjoy, whether it's running, swimming, yoga, or dancing. Make it a non-negotiable part of your day. Remember, the key is consistency. By treating your body with respect, you're investing in your overall well-being and laying a foundation for greater confidence. The company you keep has a profound effect on your confidence and overall mindset. In a world where negativity often dominates, surrounding yourself with positive influences can be a game changer. Let me share a story about how this impacted me. At one point in my life, I was surrounded by negativity, colleagues who constantly complained, and friends who saw the worst in every situation. Over time, their pessimism began to affect me. I started doubting myself, feeling drained, and my confidence took a hit. One evening, I realized how much this negative environment was impacting my well-being. I felt unmotivated and stuck, and that night, I made a decision. Something had to change. Here's the truth. The people you surround yourself with shape your mindset. The Stoics taught that we should seek out wise and virtuous companions, as their influence helps us become better versions of ourselves. When you surround yourself with positive influences, you create an environment that fosters growth, support, and inspiration. These individuals challenge you to reach your potential, offer encouragement when you're down, and celebrate your successes. This positive reinforcement builds confidence and resilience. After that realization, I made a conscious effort to change my social circle. I sought out mentors who inspired me, joined communities that aligned with my values, and nurtured friendships that uplifted me. The transformation was incredible. I felt more motivated, confident, and empowered. My outlook on life shifted from one of doubt to one of possibility. Think about it. How often do you feel drained by negative people or environments? Imagine the confidence that comes from surrounding yourself with individuals who inspire, motivate, and support you. The Stoics believed that we are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. By surrounding yourself with positive influences, you create a support system that encourages growth and nurtures your confidence. To start, evaluate your current relationships. Identify those that uplift you and those that drain you. Seek out individuals who challenge you to grow, align with your values, and support your aspirations. Be a positive influence yourself, and you'll attract the same energy in return. As we've explored in these 10 lessons, confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you cultivate over time. By embracing a growth mindset, developing emotional intelligence, engaging in physical exercise, and surrounding yourself with positive influences, you're building a foundation for lasting confidence. Remember, the Stoics taught that life is a journey, and so is confidence. It's not about perfection, but about progress. Confidence comes from the belief that you can grow, learn, and adapt. It comes from understanding that you are not defined by your failures or shortcomings, but by your ability to overcome them. So, the next time you face a challenge, a setback, or a moment of doubt, remind yourself of the Stoic wisdom. You are a work in progress. Embrace the journey, cultivate the right mindset, and watch your confidence flourish. And thanks for watching. See you in the next video.